Welcome back to Top Sport, and now, as promised earlier, we are joined in studio at our Eldoret studios by former Berlin world record holder and Kenyan champ Wilson Kipsang. Coming Sunday, he will yet again take to Berlin in the marathon race, where he will be representing the country. And we are now joined live by Wilson Kipsang. Asante sana Kipsang kwa kuungana nasi. Tunataka tuzungumzie mbio ambayo inakuja ya Berlin marathon on Sunday kwanza. How are you preparing yourself, and are you ready? Are you ready for Berlin marathon?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say that I'm really very ready for Berlin Marathon, knowing that this is a competition that I've really been competing frequently, and having had enough time to really prepare for this. I think everything has been really going on very well. I've prepared myself very well, and I'm really looking forward to compete.
And of course, when you talk about Berlin, the memories of 2013 come right into play. It is in 2013 where you broke the world record in marathon rather. So what sort of expectations should Kenyans have from you, or even what sort of expectations have you set for yourself? Will you be seeing a replica of 2013?
My expectation is really to do a repeat of what I did in 2013. When I try to remember my competition in 2013, breaking the world record, competing with Wilson Kipsang, I think it really gives me fresh memories. It's 3 years now, and having prepared and focusing so much this time, and with this presence also, I think my plan so much is to run to my best, winning, and probably having a new world record. I know I did it 2013. And I know that I still have the potential to do it once more.
Okay. And of course, umesema kuna memories Wilson Kipsang. Mlikimbia naye 2013. This year, tuna expect vile vile utakimbia na Kenenisa Bekele na Wilson Kipsang vile vile, ambaye pia we are very, very certain he's also looking for something kwa hii Berlin marathon. Paint for us a picture, ama tuelezee pengine ni mbio ya aina gani ambayo tunatizamia kupata, na as much as vile vile wewe unataka, tunajua Kenenisa Bekele pia anataka, na vile vile your fellow Kenyan Wilson Kipsang. Hiyo competition unaona ikoje?
Out of my own feeling, I think I can really see that this year's Berlin Marathon will be one of the competitive. And because if you try to see the kind of approach that we have this time, is that having 3 guys, very strong and potential, each and everyone aiming a world record. And knowing that all these guys are very potential. They have all ran very close to the world record. And if you try to see the kind of approach that each and everyone is really trying to approach the race, I think we are going to really have one of the best races ever. Because we have not had a time in any competition having 3 strong guys all coming together and each and everyone trying to attempt the world record. Because before you find that if I'm in a competition, if we have another strong guy, you find that maybe I myself am the one who is going for the world record. But this is a situation whereby all the 3 guys, all potential, each and everyone is trying to go for a world record and for a win. So I think this time, if all goes well, if we are going to have a very strong pace setters, and we really run on a schedule, and God willing that all these guys will have a very close shape, I am really trying to see a situation whereby we might have a sprint finish.
And I remember in 2014 when Dennis Kimeto did break your world record, he noted that he was not very keen on breaking the world record. His was just perhaps for a win, or even to trail you as number 2. And so I agree with your observation that indeed it will be a very interesting race. So are you confident of beating Kimeto's time record of 2:02:57?
For me, I want to really say that I'm really very confident, because if you try to see my performance all through, I've really been in a position to run good time. This year, I'm ready to run in Tokyo 2:03:58, a course which had been run 2:05:42, almost 2 minutes course record. And you find that last year in Berlin also, running my personal best, 2 hours, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, just like 16 seconds away the world record. So I think with my training and having lots of experience in the marathon, I think with a nice calculation, nice approach in the race, I think I have the potential to beat my opponents, winning and even a world record.
And I still want us to focus on the world record because I'm very certain that is what you want to go for. In Berlin, we have Kenenisa's Bekele's best time of 2:03.03. That was last year in Berlin. Then Eliud Kipchoge's is 2:03.05 in London, also last year. And you have yours last year in Berlin, 2:03.13. All of you seemingly putting up a very, very good fight. And of course, those observing athletics observe that both Kipchoge and Bekele have very good way or tactic of finishing their races. They also observe that you're a very strong character when it comes to maintaining your strength during these particular races. What tactic will you be putting in place, granted that Kenenisa, Bekele and of course Eliud Kipchoge will be putting up strong fights equally?
As I said, you find that all these three guys, each and everyone is very strong. But always you find that in every competition, what matters most is how you've prepared yourself, how you've approached the race, and how you place yourself during the competition. You might be very strong, but during the race, you misplace yourself, you don't have a proper calculation, you end up losing. But for me, I know that all these guys, Eliud and Bekele, you find that these are athletes who have really raced very well in the track. They have competed very well. Kenenisa Bekele breaking the world record in 5 and 10. Eliud also have done very well in the track 5,000 and 10,000. So you find that, but when it comes to marathon, it is a different story. You cannot just say it is a half marathon times 2. No. So I think for me, with my performance, having ran 8 races under 2:05, I think there's no athlete who have ever done like that. So I have lots of experience, and I know that with these guys who have a sprint, who are very strong in the sprint, there's how we can do. There's how we can perform in the race to make sure that by the time we are finishing the marathon, you cannot be in a position to sprint.
And then from personal ambitions between you and Eliud Kipchoge, is there any opportunity that the two of you will be working as a team? Granted that you're both very, very, what do we call it? Is it mature athletes in the track? So are you going solo? Are you going for this as Kipsang and Eliud as Eliud Kipchoge? Or are you also putting the team's interests at heart?
I think a competition like the Berlin Marathon, you cannot really compare to an an Olympics or World Championships, whereby it's a national event. But this one now, you find that each and everyone is trying to really go for a win and go for the record. So despite the fact that we really come from Kenya and the other guy is coming from Ethiopia, when the competition starts, you find that each and everyone plays his own cards to make sure that you really, at the end of it all, you score.
So it is everyone for themselves, but
yeah,
God for us all.
That's what will happen. But the most important thing is that when the pacemakers are out, if the 3 guys who are very strong, if we don't work together to make sure that we go for time, you find that sometimes we tend to lose.
True, true.
That's what happens.
And of course, in any competition, like you said, there must be a winner and there must be someone who missed the win. I don't want to call them a loser because I know the amount of work that goes into it. Talk about what loss means to an athlete. We did see you just missing Tokyo by seconds here back in the country when Kenyans are following up on various races in the world. At times when Kenyans fail to come to the expectations, there's a lot of disappointment everywhere in conversation just around it. But narrow down to an athlete himself, for instance, what happened in Tokyo. What does loss mean to an athlete? And how do you guys even cope?
For sure, I want to really say that losing and winning is part of life. It's just like any other sport, or it's just like any other activity that you do. You might prepare yourself very well, and you find that during the competition day, you just wake up, maybe you are not feeling very well, and you lose it. So sometimes it is really so painful to the athlete and also to the fans who are watching, because of that kind of expectations. They want you to win, they want you to run a good time, and when that doesn't happen, you find that it is so painful. But the best athlete is the one who can really cope and move on with the pain. If you are number 2, just accept the outcome and move on. Because I really know that if with the competition of these strong guys, Wilson Kipsang, Kenyan and Eliud Kipchoge, running in Berlin. We'll have 1, 2, 3. But if you put the same guys in the next competition, you might get a different result. Maybe the one who was number 3 becoming 1.
Becomes number 1.
So each and every race has its own outcomes. But for me, I find that like when I ran in Tokyo, I was really aiming to break the world record. But when it didn't happen, you find that I was also happy that I've ran a course record, I've ran a very fast time in Japan, and also I've missed some seconds to the world record. And that one gives me a motivation that next time when I come and compete in such a race again, I still have work to do. So it's really something that you have to really cope up and understand and accept the outcome. Yeah.
And I'm certain on Sunday, Kenyans will be following closely. And even further closer, perhaps, are your immediate fans, family and friends who missed you during the Olympics.
Yeah, I think 2016 Rio Olympics, I really missed. And many fans or many friends of mine really have memories of me competing in 2012 London Olympics. And I really competed very well. I was very strong, getting a bronze. And missing last year, I find that I've really tried to see how I can perform in these championships. And I found that it is so much different with these kind of competitions. The preparation and everything is really totally different, especially the weather. The weather sometimes is very tricky. If you cannot run in such hot conditions, it is better not to do it. Because you'll be blocking an opportunity for another Kenyan who can run in such a conditions and bring medal to Kenya. And
speaking of conditions, perhaps the reason why Berlin is such a favorite for Kenyans to break the world record is its flat course. What other probable factors are you considering, even as you eye the world record?
I want to really say that Berlin is one of the best courses in the world, because if you try to see, 5 of the previous world marathon records have just been broken in Berlin. And one of the things that really makes it so nice is, the course is so nice. It's so flat. We have small hills, but it's not really. But the most important thing is the weather. The weather is always like 85% good. Temperatures between 11 to 18 degrees. Little wind, and that is really something very nice.
Okay.
What we need is a nice weather, flat course, strong guys, and the focus and the ability of the athletes to always go for a record. That's what makes it more interesting, and more guys competing each and every year.
And earlier, I was just speaking to my colleague here from the Daily Nation, who is a big fan of athletics, Bernard Rotich, and he noted perhaps one of the reasons why you really want to go for this world record is to sort of retire from active athletics and perhaps now take other roles in the world of athletics. So in an event, Berlin goes the 2013 way. What is the future? Will we be seeing Wilson Kipsang bid goodbye to active athletics, or are you still here for some time?
For sure, I think talking of retirement, it is really too early
to
think about
right?
it. Yeah, it's too early, because with my age, with my years in athletics, with my performance, I think I still have lots of records to break. Because for now, I've just broken the world record once. I'm trying to do it twice. I still have races to run. All the majors I have not really competed. So my plan and my dream is really to have run and win all the majors before I retire. And probably to run other races, breaking the course record. Retirement just comes by itself.
So you're still here for some time?
I still have time.
Okay, amazing. And recently, even as we wind up, we did see you shift focus a little bit to politics, and you are eyeing a parliamentary seat. How was the experience?
Yeah, I think my experience was really so nice, because sometimes you find that we as athletes, we really represent our country. We are good ambassadors, competing outside, coming back, training. But at times you find that to get an opportunity to interact with the public, with the community, you have to engage yourself in a certain activity that can really bring you to the real picture of the community. So for me, I think it was really a nice experience, because I could really see. And one thing that I realized is that our people really don't understand the potential that we have as athletes.
Yes, because we had a number of athletes actually eyeing some political seats.
Yes, we had lots of them, but you find that...
but they lost, unlike in athletics.
That's why I'm saying you find that our people don't understand the potential that we have. Once we are top now, you find that they are there to call you for a function, fundraising, all those activities. you are invited. But when it comes to seeking a political seat, you find that they see you as, it's like you cannot really do it. Your profession as an athlete, you need to really do it to your maximum. But you find that once we interact more, for me it was the first time, and you know everything.
Attempt, yes.
You don't have to really get it right the first time.
Yes.
Some of these things you have to get experience, people have to know you. And it was so surprisingly that in my place, there were places that if I could really visit and talk to them and tell them I'm Wilson Kipsang, the former world, they were shocked. They don't know me. They say, okay, we have
some have possibly never seen you.
They say, we have just been seeing you on TV, so this is you. So to develop that trust from the word go and to vote for you, it really needs to take time. You need to interact with that person. He has to see you today, tomorrow, see you in events, doing this and this, until that person develops trust that you can really serve them.
But then again, is that not a problem you guys have sort of created for yourselves? Because you operate in very closely knit circles, such that even accessing you is a problem. For instance, even for me, probably it's because I had your number and you received my call. But for basic Mwananchi, still on the political front, then do you think you guys have sort of shielded yourselves so much from the community, such that they know Kipsang is from here, Kipchoge resides here, but they cannot even pick you from the streets?
Yeah, I think what the main problem is that kind of protection is basically for the purpose of the sport. When it comes to training, preparing, you find that if you open up so much, you find that all those kind of distractions will really come in.
What do you mean, Kipsang?
And you might not really be in a position to train and to prepare for a race. So that is why sometimes many of the athletes, when they go to a training camp, they prefer to really focus and train, go compete and come back. But what I can really advise my fellow athletes is we need to really be more open to the public.
More in touch.
More in touch with the public. When there is a function, we need to be there so that they can really see us.
And when there is top sports, you need to schedule yourself such that one of you will always be constantly here.
Yeah, I think there is much that we need to do. There is much civic education that needs to be done to our fellow athletes, that they can really know the importance of this. Because when time comes that you really need to now fight for a position in the country, you find that people will know you. But now, people just know Kipsang in the screen. But sometimes even when I walk just along the streets, it's very few people who can recognize me. And it's really so amazing that people don't know you.
I know. Yeah? And you're more of a known person in the streets of Berlin than along Eldoret town.
But in Europe, as soon as I land Amsterdam, people can realize.
Even around the airport?
Yes. You see people, they want to take a photo with you, yeah, Kipsang, yeah. But within the streets of Eldoret, people say, oh, it looks like Kipsang.
Oh my goodness. So no one here asks for a selfie?
No.
My goodness. No. So you have an easier time here than in Europe?
So much.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. And perhaps as we wind up, could you speak directly to your fans who will be watching you on Sunday?
My message to my fans in Kenya and all over the world who will be watching on Sunday, that guys, I really request for your prayers and support during the competition day. And I want to really say that cross your fingers that we are really going to have a very strong competition and a world record.
Thank you, Kipsang. Kongoi Mising. Asante sana.